the whole process of getting to our citizens. We had the e-governance system here, we had Smart Zambia, and it was our idea. So this idea, if it's going to be rolled out, it should not be suddenly, overnight. No, you have to sensitize the people, you have to enlighten the people, you have to make available the little gadgets at little or no cost at all, so that they are able to utilize it. And those of us who grew up in the old days will remember that when we were changing from pounds, shillings, and pence to kwacha and ngwezi, we had a program which was rolled out by Dr. Kaunda, enlightening people how we're running away from pounds to kilograms, metric. You know, it took a long time. We were still in school, I remember. 1 dozen to a unit of 10, remember? So it's a process. So in short, kusupuka, your process, later, it's possible that we can get people to get access to support from the government, e-farming, literacy, social cash transfer. It can be done electronically. But there are supuka kwenda kuwaiwa face waamfula waimako watampukula, no, and eventually you walk, eventually you run. Number when I West Africa, by masa fiance, by onaula, by number kumpinati, social cash transfer. So they don't mean well. If they mean well, they would have taken their time, what a punch. You know, even when you want to change the mind of the people, you can't just wake up and say, take each other. No matter you have to engage them. So for me, I've got nothing against going electronic. Even in the electoral process, I've got nothing against going electronic. But we have to be satisfied that this is going to work. We have to make sure that the technology we are getting is reasonable, is accessible, and we have enough people with the intelligence to manage that technology. Social cash transfer, again, we will punka wega.
Your Excellency, ukufumeko tutambiro kulanda kwa nimona tapai jo mtasishe kwa kutira Newton bali bomberecha so
shanga vya monika ushtasha mwana wandoshi tell me where we in Chulumendo
bali nishenchito ama nurses.
Forget about that.
Amkwa
ya masukulu bayingisha mu bakafundisha masukulu yesu ndipo akulile nafuna ngatwali tibeteka na mishanga twalingisha bakafundisha tishi bachitini ya bala bakafundisha bengisha nafuna ngatwalingisha nibyo kuchirapo. Okay? Ba dokota na banasi kuvipatala vyesu vitu akulile nafuna ngatwalete ngatwalingisha. So you can't begin boasting at not to ba doctor na banasi mwe you be analytical ukani. That's what we are saying uka. Question these things, scrutinize them and interrogate them, then you know the truth. Not about no, no. Zambians are woken up. Me, I woke up a long time, and I can tell you they've done nothing. Tell me what they've done, and I'll tell you that they are lying to you because you don't interrogate these things.
They have increased the CDF now from that CDF.
But look, 1.6 CDF was able to do roads. 1.6 CDF was able to do police force. 1.6 was able to do what you call bridges and so on. But 30 million, whatever. Chilenga fema tumba ya bantu. Ama classrooms vale panga, ama 3 by 1. Is it 1 by 3? What do you call them? People used to build the, you know, but now tell me, what's happening to capital projects in the Ministry of Education? Are you saying that because the CDF, you are no longer going to do secondary schools through the Ministry of Education? Are you saying that you're not going to build police stations using the main Ministry of Home Affairs? Are you going to say that you are going to build the prisons or correctional services centers like we did out of CDF? No. CDF is supposed to be supplemental to the area member of parliament where there are gaps. That's the intention. That is what it was, that's what it is. It is not supposed to replace capital projects and expenditure. Now, infrastructure, what are they doing? Where are new hospitals being constructed? Where are new schools being constructed? Where are new police stations being constructed? So for me, I think there is some magic here. But you see, we are now awake, not to walk away. So let's push up. If I was able to do work out of 1.6 million in shawarma, and now I'm failing to do out of 30 million in shawarma, I ask myself, I say, what's going on? There's something wrong here. So go and ask members of parliament to tell you where they've taken that money. And I warned members of parliament when this thing was introduced, the first time the president spoke to parliament that we're increasing. And I said, watch this because you are $30 million finish stuff. Finally, go and to 2026 to 31. Nasamba Munewa, quiet church. So wake up. Ukani my MPs.
Your Excellency, namlanda kopediashi ya vumbi. You said it was Kurama Hospital, for example, kuchisali kwa Chinsali General Hospital, kupeta uke hukumwesu kwa chipatali chikalamba icho mwakulile mkwai. Na mkalomo mkwai mwawa ama hospital, aya kalamba yotu wa mwana General Hospital. Nomba imopakuba nga intungurushu wakulile ifipatale fingi fyale kanalekana. In Charity Sucha, Zambia, Cancer Hospital, Valisara. How do you feel?
I'm sure.
Maybe if in Fidiamare Kuratafia Quetoya Tacho.
Ah, we, I'm sure Zambians, but I'm for Visana and don't feel a movie. Because we cannot have a cancer center or a cancer hospital here. We close it, then we begin sending people abroad. Because that's what we wanted to stop. So, all men do. Abatungula na wakashara batuteka shinani school. Bale mupira kwa abantu luse. Because those things were meant for poor people who can't afford their tickets, who can't afford to go and lodge with their family members in India, in Israel, in South Africa. They were meant to bring skills here. By bringing those hospitals here, we were meant to train our own doctors, bring our own equipment, and also benefit from health tourism and so on. So it's not very personal. No one is going that and so on. But they won't follow because these things were well meant. This thing to try to appreciate, but when exchange was being saved, and so on. And in the end,
recently, this Wilama schools, is it last week? Otherwise, from land wabble where they over cholera. Naimadi Jamade, Tungra Churches, which are Zambia, Wariko, Ishiteko, cholera, Shide, COVID, Yadi, Shide, but Tatuam when Ama schools, Uguisa, Romka, Mkashta, Akatari name for Ishing in Gefu Tuamwene. Mwakonisheshan who control cholera na COVID-19.
COVID-19 was the most challenging experience we had as the PF government. It was novel, it was new, it was unknown, and people were just researching as it was afflicting our people. The researchers in the medical field who were doing procurement of medicines and so on were even not testing the drugs they were bringing. But because we were open-minded and we knew that we became innovative. We said children can stay at home and learn through online and all those things. And we said we will make sure that ministries run with only key personnel and so on. So we were innovative. So in short, what I'm saying is that, we were more innovative because we were affected by the suffering of the people. And we were under pressure at one time. I remember in cabinet we debated for a long time. Colleagues were saying, let's close the economy. Please have my shops, I'm not too kind of fiance. About for the Puma and because in Maisala Matuka, Maisala Soweto, Maisala fiance, even look up longer you can afford my fridges. My Quatifia, and my Quata, my fridges, my cold rooms, and so on. We feel my let's prove to young remendo, we have a basket of wash, coffee, more plastics. She, like a Fumisha, if you have we all Namai, we can shut tomato. Roadside, we are working with income free. I have a police affair, police Shabana, a poco bidica puya, but a tuition up wake up puya. So, and we struggled and we were innovative and we brought new measures amwishyura mbulendumenji fyali ngachakwe watu wasanga mungu afya nobody wachitashani chiwailiwa ontokutwa kwako. And that's what we did. We came out with measures which were totally novel, totally new, and we contained the effects of COVID. The economy had food. People were able to go for work and produce and work. But our days to vessel clothes. I'm going to my selection clothes. And the value travel decided, in fact, if I can recall very well, the UPND was saying, Israel, close the country. Close up. We refused because we realized that the suffering will not hit the rich, it will hit the poorest of the poor. And that's why we said, no, by giving them social distance. It was every day. We were enlightening people. Every day, Dora Sidia and Salvation Fair was on radio and television giving bulletins on what's happening, explaining measures which they've discovered, and changing drugs and talking about vaccines and so on. We were with the people. So that's how we managed to contain COVID. And when these guys came, there was enough food in the food reserve agency, despite their having COVID. Vaisashtisha fefe yakuja. Fionse vashtisha, vatiposha na munisaba. Vatiposha na mulimwamode, you know. So, kusishiro kupenda mo, wabina zamina venda mo uliti watu pende. So,
Your Excellency, the current government is saying that economy to the kama issue pile ni pamanda utira ubutunguruchi wenu washide inkongole ishide ngelo utira abantu balejura parika na mashitantana n'isuchaza
inkongole ndakwaye cyo kwata inkongole. That's why in Chile batira inkongole wingi shimbi ngafana shimbi nkalula inkongole so when nobody kongola you don't know that they've been borrowing since they came into power. The difference is that it should vary Congo like it vary Shimon Philip Monica. Then you move to Fumo. Because they can't account for the money they've borrowed. They can't. And when you try to raise issues now in Parliament, no, and I'm so surprised and disappointed that parliamentarians can't speak and ask questions that you're asking me. Because this government has borrowed lots more money than we borrowed. And no one is querying them. Money, I hope things are okay, but the truth of the matter is that it's a lie. What these people were doing was to demonize and make it appear like it was a loan which was insurmountable. But it wasn't insurmountable, only that they didn't give us breathing space. They were stampeding us, and they were very good at propaganda. Propaganda, they managed to convince the people that we have over-borrowed to a point where this country is about to collapse. And you know, they got articulate, enlightened, intelligent, sophisticated, eloquent youngsters to talk on radio, television, and make it appear, you know, it is not true. We had borrowed, yes, and we were going to pay. And if we had been in charge of the country by now, we would have found a way of resolving this, the indebtedness. No. But what they say, because what we borrowed, we used. What we used it for is visible. They've borrowed much more than we borrowed. And where the money is, God knows. So,
Your Excellency, Mushikushino Shimkwai, dollar yadifikile 27. One patch is good to 27. I mean, $1 is good to 27 kwacha. Ishikushino no shipitile. We'll take UPND now on the Shokumana. Dollar at the moment is 23, 24. A point trending in Empire. What can you say, yes, as a former head of state?
Give it 1 week, give it 2 weeks. You will see the backlash when this thing fails. Because we hope that maybe they could naps somewhere, as we have been told. Because it doesn't work like that. What will happen is that that drip of money they put in the coin will soon run out. And then the true value of the kwacha against the dollar will just hit the roof, the ceiling, and so on. So for me, dollar take question. Let's allow certain things take their natural course. I'm giving you 2 weeks at most. Then you see the real effect of the measures they've taken, and you come and tell me this economy may just even collapse. And once you even mop up all the money from government accounts and so on, you think you are doing the right thing. Tansi.
Do you plan to stand as a president in 2026? Ushe nangu atakuwa mapanga mkwai ya Simon in 2026.
Ile naishi nadhani. Na T.
Wala mrefu afya kupususha chipani cha PF.
Chondefu aisha sana sana. Kupususha PF. PF ya mpanga vino. Ula PF ngashaba pana. Tetinde gewesi wasompole PF wa MP badia. Nendeta mbawe na mdefu wachita. Basa mpampula fesa wa nitole fitefu wachita. PF yesu bonse. So we need to have a democratic process and dispensation in PF. We get a new leader at the appropriate time and we feature him. But on the side of this, we will not allow democracy to die by having the treatment they're giving to PF be scaled up to other political parties. For me, I've already said that in Gavan, Fire, Bazambi, but the Lungu, no one have weighed up. Can't weigh it up. Gazagwe, but Baisa, but PF tend to make a poem, to make a poem. But like the bigger picture I'm portraying now, we've got Uka. Bauka belibala nebele tukabomba na boy. Na waka support kwa PF na twasala intungusha kwa timu tukabomba. Because mu kamuli kwa nifini. Muri chipani cha ba nyaba ba nesu wakapiwa skota. Muri chipani cha ba Slavwe, muri chipani cha ba Harikalaba, muri chipani cha ba Savoyimboela, muri chipani cha ba Pule, muri chipani cha ba Nawakwi, cha Mavula cha ba Nawakwi. Tuna chipani chimbi chabani la mwenyewe chakateka ana tulivengi we about 9-10 already who have come on this platform. So therefore chakwewa tu miaka pi tusuishe utego ulipo tufaile povumbi bukweto kuchindika abantu mwivombele no freedoms in speech, freedom of speech, freedom, even the freedom to own property. Walipo kweba tuwe muntu wapilo kushita inganda walipo 20 years walikonga nokukongola wapilo kushita inganda those days kushinga lishinga bale kushita inganda basa batiwe waibile vipantu walipo PF mutitikisha abantu mulira ishate kutipilo kubayo nangu yo pantu limubemba twala kufunya hapo hapa tuwike po umtundumbi tefu difilo kubayo. We have seen so much injustice. So once you do that, there's a good that Ruthie and Govare later in Zambia. Wala poor thing is a quite most of my capital solution. Abatewa abatwali lukele twali pusakwe tell kwa igobambi. Now to kaleta kuna mo ichi wakashami na chakweba tena na tuiluka. So whoever is going to be president in 2026 and beyond akose sana. And we will not give him the space we have given this gentleman.
Okay. Kashingwa bakonfongere mwisule filimba ngwa itulera chanya former head of state au ni Dr. Edgar Lungu kunonganda mna masawadi tweetonta pa 89.7 FM vangu kuti mwatumfa kwa iko mfya Radio Garden Radio FM, that's digital platform. Ndona wanenso ngwa ukufuma kuma radio station ni ale kana kwa Muchinga province, Northern province na Luapula province vale kutika ngwa wino live. Ngwa itwise kulipu cholimbi excellency Dr. Edgar Lungu. Ichintu chimwe chalengera utira ichipani cha PF tifuma maka vambi valeti ni cardinalism tamwali peace in Zambia. If at all, since mletinga avena Zambia vanje wakutira wekera pampando, are you going to allow what used to happen, or if you are chitigangwai iliashi kadrende chwemo, if you are chitigangwai, if you are cardinalism evale lichanyapa abantu nokutira yota mwali mutende wino mzambia ushe kutifile fintu fyogerapo mashi wayashane mungu
yo so ngamiye bazavuye bati cardinalism eko yali na ino inishita cardinalism eko yi nomba chapsene buzavuye bati sensational and the exaggerational interpretation of cardinalism during our time foolish. Why do you go bati there was gun culture. Every day in Futishari for city market. Honorable Kampion was my minister of Home Affairs. I can't remember whether there was a time when we had guns being fired every day at the city market. Guns being fired at Intercity every day. They had this knack for exaggeration. Okay. What if a gift you have to exaggerate no kubepa one to a point where people begin believing that if I don't achieve. That's why I know but what I can tell you is that yes, there was Kadarism to some extent, but it was exaggerated in the way it was perceived and reported because of our friends' investment in propaganda and falsehood. But going into the future, these Zambians have said yes, they don't want to have Kadarism. We'll make sure we take measures in place to ensure that Kadarism is eradicated, which they've not done. So if we're not in that power, either as UKA or as PF, whoever would be in charge, and no making sure what's left in one of the truth is that because yes, capitalism was there, yes, but the way they put it, there was a time when the head of state was in Angola and he was saying you couldn't hold a function, fire, there was what do you call it? It's gunfire, violence everywhere. There was a time when he was attending some function somewhere. And I said, I contacted my colleague who was former minister. I said, Minister, because the way they painted it, if you watch Panglefi, if you want to say, tell for the reason where you want to Panglefi, what you never looks no, by no, yes, but not the extent they portrayed. That I can say. But I'm not supporting Kadarism. I'm saying Kadarism is bad, whatever it is. So let's root it out. But imagine that it was as exaggerated as it is being said, and that's why we left power. If that is why we left power, when we come back, we'll sort it out.
You are trying to bring politics in church.
Now, there was church before I became a minister, before I became a politician, when I became president, I even told you by some people that Ngamampunyapo, Kalaisa Church. No matter how church food in politics food, Navali think that I will to Paris and because there is a work, there is a work with a Yonse. That's what we are. So very long about to go to church, to buy a but you have to change Chipope. We have to change Ninglo. So I'm going to change the last because I'm going to change no Chimoleka on a Paishi, but I'm considering Shavan, but you have a very chula, Fika Pita, Nisakamana Fika Pita. You know, my shoe, Yachina Christu, eating gear, feel confidence and hope. So we'll continue going to church. Because like I said, that time I went to church in Mtendere, I said, yes, we have lost power, but we have not lost the favor of God, because God is still with us. We are His children, and He will look after us, He will protect us, and we will keep worshiping Him, whether you like it or not. And ever from the statement, that's why I went to church. So, that's actually true, but not why I went to church.
I'm quite. Konfongo trailer na former head of state wa Dr. Edgar Lungu kunonganda mlawasa kuwa delight kwiton tampai.
No, by the way, not tampai kuchechi. Have you noticed? Mari umfati. Emkwai. My face is about the 18th day of October, the useless day of Imposa muvela kubeja apapele masweshwale batinyo tulete palesa so
mkwai tuweze kulia shifuti na kabiri yao Mosampa watu wachikumako wame bareti efe wachitewa Mosampa pa 24 October nichi mochine nefya chitike imo excellence ntumwale mwamu vami pere ukutira muwe wa president ava PF kumurungushi it's just the same Alexa revenge.
They were delegates as provided by the Constitution, and there were the council members and the conference members and so on. And the chairman was there, and we held a meeting. And that meeting elected by proclamation me as the president. There was nothing like any conference which was held on 24th October 2023. They were not delegates who came from Sinsali, from Dola, from anywhere. People who came were just handpicked revelers who came to enjoy themselves. Abaishile kunoti abalima delegates besu kulingana nechikomo chesu cha PF constitution kuyalanda lokela likabasala ntungulushi. There was nothing like that Kumurungushi when I was elected. I was elected by the conference. So what our operative authority whatever kulingana if you achitike kunuma if to know the distort the records are there. We went to Aline once for a quarter meeting. Wherever so drama delegates from districts, constituencies, once from provinces, the chairman of the conference was there, and Panuma by by proclamation, by decree, processes by sealed ballot, by lifting of hands. Even sometimes you told that we by acclamation was into English. So if a process to have one patient twice by acclamation, because I was the only candidate at that meeting. So there's no way they can say it was not an election, no. And this history is quite recent. This history was covered, if it was NBC, like Watama, footages and so on, if it was Saturday and so on. And even going into courts and all those things is all documented. Number again about who from Tungu myself, Kuba send abantu kuchama. Why about kuchama? Never for you know. About something ngombe tin. Ashimishile mukupumula. Bakashaka nono bachinja bati yo mwalasa ntungulushi. Twalasa ntungulushi. You know. Sema dusulia kwa
Your Excellency, good for tomorrow. Ukumfa mkwai. Ukufuma po atendekere mkwai ukuteka ichalo ba UPND up to date. Ni pesa po mlemo na wale pusa mkwai kumonotira if you tutafire yenda uno since you said mwachirano kuti atapawa nife wabo mbako kufuma.
Okay, today first you wabo mbako bono rani. Man you see, a 10-point plan. Which one is working? I can't see it. Now which one? Umundu gana ikuta. Now ikuta. Gana ikuta umundu gana ninji kutai. Ask any Zambian. Don't ask me because me I will be perceived to be prejudiced because I lost and I'm bitter. Ask any Zambian and say, "She read Monashan." Forget about the praise singers, but just an ordinary Zambian in the health sector, in the education sector, in the mining sector. You don't name it, what fish bubble. It's nothing. Maintenance of law and order, in administration of justice. And you can tell. Okay, I will say something, but don't quote me. Now, you're a journalist, you should know these things. So, even the interview, right now, I think we take a possible money. One thing is Bashulini, sana big farmers, na commercial farmers weka kwa wangu but time to go irrigation. Kwa atakwenda kwa tebo if you are kulia. And the food that is there now cannot last. Ile kumwalo muta pale ile fuma. So it was.
Yalo kumona pa drought ya uchalo cha Zambia. What do you think the government should do to have a
Go engage Zambia National Farmers Union, Small Scale Farmers Union, talk to the banks and see what products can they put on the market to just help these people. You know, if you need to be supported by the government to ensure that they get special rates and so on. Otherwise, this year, abantu bashabadila bakongola po indalama kubuteko. Na bakongwesha indalama. Shakulini, you know that, eh? There is this much talked about parliamentary and there's a scheme they brought that kakongela indalama ku bank. Mulimi. Ero balima. Ero lesa na say what I heard a story which I'm trying to verify. Somebody in Chongwe, I and this is the story I heard yesterday because I can't believe you and the Aberdeen and Danga security and other things. So this is where we are. So when we take over Jabis Zimba Zambia National Farmers Union, Kweva Tinga Africa, a fish wing at Chita, Mweva fish vision, Tunamieva or something. But it's not too bad, it's not like we've lost everything. Something can happen, if you're you can solve the situation by just engaging these people to our matter of question. When you're honest, you put your card on the table, you go as you take, farmers union, you go small scale farmers. You never say, never have our small scale. To allow me for shine, but what would you have with? You see, my chief, who take away chief, we are going to allow me for shine, but what you want to have with, I want to wait for Kunsala, Numaka. But if you get Monica Massains, I have at your way away. That's what I would do.
Okay. Kashimpa wakomfuata tuchichoera na champai na former head of state abategera pechero cha Zambia abanyuma Dr. Edgar Lungu. Ero today towards the end of our interview kutina temwa mkwai waturondolwera mkwai ng'abantu chakutira batira yo wa Edgar Lungu wawererepo pampando tuwalirepo mkwai ku agriculture sector ngachakutira abantu batira mbwere kuti mwabomberapo shani ngwa agriculture.
You see, agriculture is a very big industry. Agriculture, ababomba sana mugu lokola bulimi bwa nyanja mukyalo. They are small scale farmers. Abene bamana batata bati balima fye kunoma farm bafine kumushi tubulimi babombe sana. So twapo kwebati twalolesha pamibombele yabo. Considering if you are chitika paka fish tunayona abona if better now, we have to start afresh. Follow with me, Fantan, Shukwebati, Mubulimi, Mwaka profit. But I'm ready, Basanga Mukum. Navarashta Kunabanga Vashtishana, Basanga Mukum. Navarashta, Vaya Gana, Basanga something. So, Skala Maningana Fabulimi. But what was she 2-3 years ago? Probably no, but now, so, in short, we need to take a fresh look at agriculture and bring measures which will be short-term measures, okay, to ensure that farming again, especially on the basic crop, is increased and productivity and the quality or quantity of the maize is enhanced. And what you need to know is that so you see, we will need to find money to subsidize agriculture again, production. Okay. Otherwise, if period you can get away, we will need to look for money to subsidize agriculture, especially on the staple food, so that we bring in enough food, we have enough reserves. So on short term, the immediate term.
You don't need to subsidy them quite. What's about the quality from you?
When I met your subsidies, you remember 1 week ago, I went to your subsidies, you remember? They were saying the money we're using for subsidizing the fuel prices is over, so we're going to increase. Earlier when they were saying there is no room for subsidies. That's why they should have subsidies. You invoke subsidies from time to time. Even in some advanced countries, they do subsidize certain areas of production, certain sectors of the economy. That is how it has worked.
Tuisekulia shia masambiro mkwai. Ngaja uchira mwabwela mumaka. Kutumwa mwemila posha. Education sector.
Not if you have free education. We have to revisit what we are seeing. There's no quality education. I want to be a pharmacist because I like farming. But that's a joke. But I'm telling you that they've diluted the level of education and the quality of education. It's unfair, especially to those people. What I'm learning is that I'm learning to some of them. They're taking their children to private schools and so on. But how many can afford? The quality of education is zero, which is coming from there. So I think that free education, when we come back. If I come back as president, whoever will come back as president, so whoever will come, we will force him to take a look at this free education. This is not free education. This is I don't know what I can call it. What can I call it for what of the benefits? We went by a few you know, because it's a village scale. Teacher is actually book 300 books achonge 300 students abeshiwe abachina evaluate bakuevatisho uyu kama mbala kali kama posta kali posta kwa mano akabikenyu uyu ane bombi kuchenjere kutatungulana. Teaching is supposed to be relationship with the learner and the teacher, and you get to know the characteristics of the student to help the student acquire knowledge. But if you don't have that possibility, because I'm overwhelmed, we pencil or refundisha abana bali mu class tafile bomba mwila bepata file bomba. Free education tefe ikuloko. The concept of free education should be revisited and we ensure that we give quality education to our children, especially the underprivileged, who can speak for themselves. And then, even because of the too much work on the teacher, you can't even find private tuition in these government schools. Those days, the teacher didn't do some assembly about it. But there's no time to do private schools where free education is. Because the teacher has no time. Because teaching means that you first have to do the work plan, schedule, and then you go and work. After working, you bring the books back home, you chonga. Teacher the tuition. Teacher has to prepare for exams. Abanangu bale tuition. Na besa la masukuru. Teacher le chonga by exams. Ngapusha kuchonga by exams ya. Teacher wekela mufuti mkitambo kusandisha. And then you issue with ways because one teacher just sandisha class much more than one class. Masabix yonse and so on mwalisho na official. So pre-education in India. Kutikata momenso ba.
Mkwae. Tuisa kudia shi iya health mkwae. Ubumi. Kutumaliza bombela poshana. Ngacho kutira mwangu.
Ubumi. Private washi is able to because nothing has happened. We have it in our manifesto, and we wanted to make sure that we have health facilities in a accessible place, so that you don't have to go into a fish telisa and we are clinic and so on. Try have nam within 30 if another wound fish was so left for our doctor, medical assistant and so on. That's what we rolled out. So in short, I'm not watching them 2021, but then that we're able to get at 2026 and Pisanga.
I'm quite. This is infrastructure. Twali mwene mkwadilia mwadi ko finge fyo mwakulire ngacha kutira mwambo ina 2026 mukakonganyapo olo mukabombera ko kuli filme mkwa
tulingalanda kankala tufile mwaisho kulenga sanga 2026 ukesa ba president akakoshe sana vandu shakasange pya twashile akazanga la fiona ukevingi ngamlia tusesele there will be no new development yominga sonta by 2026 kwati ifi bali kulile bali bundile para pashile bapie ifingi tukasana kafile twashile bantu vingi bali but chikala mbaza kwewati tufile twalande chiwo kwewati ile omulete vile maisho kwewati succession ifile ya konkanya para pashile ya mwa konkanya umone ilio ba unit baile hapo bashilile chale fwaikwa ba MMD balepa kukonganya hapo babele bashilile nga buya ntanshi wa milimo ya makula infrastructure nga buya ntanshi wa milimo ya bulimi babele mwachinja ko bya finish bombi fishane bomba but isha chitikita kwa batilo baishe ba MMD ba esabish tuwekela kunuma paisa isa ba PF ba PF bali zishina makayo nsi kuwa para shida banavo institute ya shida banavo. That's why we are very very successful. No mbaba beshi tabale kula para twashile baisa kanya milimo imbili kankale twakwete mapangere so sila kwete bashine gushitu bati okay mwalepo bati ulibile lisi ni 20 years but ulibile 30 years bashine negotiate na malons wakwete wene abaka kumio. We needed that kind of thing. So in short, when we come back, I'm saying when we come back, mark my words, when we come back, we'll make sure that we continue where it's possible for us to continue and start afresh where it will be imperative that we start afresh. Because it's continuous succession. It's perpetual succession. Because they're trashing it. That's why I don't.
Road network very important in the country. Let's with a host Honorable Kampiongo Kumunawasa panopene padira tukwitonta vala nilokutira imisebo yamchinsali vali kansa ama contract imwe ngachawutira mwabwera mu 2026 ushangwa kumanyapa na road network ya ama projects ya wakaza
kutwa like I said kutwa wena ichwebwena kumona kweba ti zamilimo
for example muchinga kwa chama Matumbo road right now nalelanda na wakanave samkwai valundu vale lishanya kutira tavakwanisha kucrossa na mamotokwe kwacha makudia emkwai so vale lomba nomba mwanga chakutira mwai samkwai kuti mwakunganyamba na road network chama Matumbo road mulira solo mundu road
you see ndomwa pange misebo uyantashimwa fisha immediately you do a road between Chama Matumbo nishiyechita inyanchende ya mwaisula no makumiri mwe yantashi na mapango omusebo like that road from Nakonde which goes into Mbala Street if you have distance and yangusha. So there are a lot of roads which they've cancelled, which will have to start. Goods and services will be delivered very quickly. So you don't have to be a very intelligent person to know that. But I can tell you that that's a program of actions which we embarked upon, which was suspended or derailed because of loss of power. And when we come back, certainly we want to continue without fail.
Tuisegwedia shingwai imisepera na wanamayo mwisherifishe fomu inga wagombera i point kwa ya kurekeresha leo tusondoro ile mkwai FM kwa chitira mkwai wanamayo nemisepera nga chakutra avena Zambia batira Edgar Lungu wele na kavi
wanamayo nemisepera they are a key component of our community and we want to create criminal activities and all these things which we are complaining about social vices and so on. They come from lack of care for the youth. So we have planned our manifesto. Our manifesto, in fact, in the way I should look for manifesto is why I want to have UPND. So I'd like to believe that the skills centers which we had started, I don't know how they are doing it. Some of them please can give you a better picture. You know, when you impart skills, you begin supporting them by looking for business opportunities for them. I know they tried the trucks and tankers and other things, but that was nothing. But there is much more where you can get people to train in skills, in agriculture, for example. And then you ask institutions, banking and financial institutions, to see how they can help them with the small loans to sustain their businesses, welding machines and all those things. All those things help. So it's a entire spectrum of economic activities in which children, our youth can get involved. And when you talk about manufacturing, the model which we've seen in India and other countries, they're built on the small scale industry. People welding things behind in their backyard, supplying them to a big manufacturer who puts them on Tata motor vehicles or whatever we make. And that goes. So for me, we don't have to reinvent the wheel in some areas because these things have been tested and they've worked. The government cannot say no if we're focus on the machine. By the way, you should know that the government is not a business where you go to make money or save money. Government is where you go to spend the money for the goodness of the people you have. So, whatever government nchitokufunyendera mana kupera abantu kwatubume government kupaendera mukwadise waiwe bwino amanoro yave government kupaendera mukwebazi dabalimi bakwate mishikana ngama markets government ifulere kunyapindira mali yonse nefosa you cannot say no we are here to save money no when you're in government you have to make sure abantu bale pangendera but those big boys in the industry when they make money you go there say romba na imwe tupeni misonko taxes and so on. That's what we do. So you're supposed to be a stakeholder in the business of the economy as a government by ensuring that the access is given to far-flung areas where people are not able to reach and extract economic activities and values from there. So you can never tell but I don't know how to take instead of talking about the scope of the living. Who take a hoop in England? Wawami emisebo ute okufunyenza mawali amasukulu ute okufunya emisebo watwala malaiti watwala menshi communication so that balabalefu okuyatwala okuyantaishi kumpologosokera munduire batwala mumwangu wangu bayakula efintu kulyafyalonzeroza kwangu wangu nawe kwata malaiti then muteko batula munduire atwa munduire taxi guy swego epo fyalo. You don't go to government to say no, want to save money, want to make money. No. That's not your responsibility.
Your Excellency, kwa kumpera program yesu amashiwe yakusondolera.
Awe, ukani bazambia. Ukeni. Lwendo. Yana mukile na unomubaka midribble. Ningalati. Embushani ngawada.
Chapo. Ngutira ukeni.
Ukeni.
Kachima komfuata twafika kumpera ya program yesu iyalero special interview eyo twachikwato kula chanyamkwai na former head of state awacharo yesu cha Zambia awani Dr. Edgar Lungu amatotero kuli imirawasa yale kanonekana mkwai kufuma kulia kuluwapula northern na Muchinga province hapo hapali na Konde FM ukoni kuna Konde mkwai kufuma Muchinga province ero na Pika FM ukufuma kumpika Chete FM ukufuma kuna Konde ISO FM ukufuma kulia kuisoka na Radio Gillette Kwitonta as the host radio station mnomwina mkwai mu Muchinga province ero mkwai palina Radio Luswepo ukufuma kulia kumbala Radio Walamo ukufuma kumpulungu ero mkwai na Kasama FM ukufuma kukasama Radio Mano ukufuma kukasama KFM ukufuma kumansa ero na Radio Liangeni ukufuma kulia kumansa na tutata sana bakomfa mwachiwana ino muntu wenu Harrison Piri nga kutikeko na kabiri ushkumbe mkwai shale nipo.
I had to pretend to be soft on the HH, you need him to lower his guard. No!